I'm excited, absolutely for Ambrosia Seed. I like Ambrosia just because I love Boots hints. Lonk, the Boots are in the light world today. Watch them be right here.
Nope,
well.
but it's a nice rod.
oh,
that
darn
may
it,
not
Total
bode
Rock's
well.
a pendant. Oh, darn it, Total Rock's a pendant.
I mean, maybe.
Probably.
So, we've got a female villager in the bottom right. We've got a Jack Frost in the bottom left. Is that Homer in the top left?
Yes, that is a Homer Simpson sprite. Not sure about the top right, though.
Yeah, I did miss that sprite, unfortunately. But either way, I'm definitely excited for this race. I think that's a red mage.
Oh, like from Final Fantasy?
Yeah. From 9, I think.
Yeah, my Final Fantasy before 13 isn't really that particularly good, so forgive me if I'm behind the bandwagon on that front. But yeah, right now our runners are primarily looking for bombs, or if they happen to get lucky, actually no, Hyrule Castle I think is a separate area other than Light World, so what they're looking for right now are bombs so they can reach the back of escape without having to double dip it later with either a glove or a lamp.
Because that back of escape trip is not fun if you have to do it with the lamp.
Nope. Looks like our guards are dropping arrows. Unfortunately, my memory with the prize pools are not perfect, so I don't know if that means green guards will ever drop bombs as a result.
I don't believe so. It's been a while for me as well, but I don't believe that they. Of course, that could be mitigated by stun drops. That could be something different.
Yeah, I don't know if defeating a frozen enemy counts as a stun kill, because they do have that ice rod to play with.
That they do. They'll definitely make Moldorm at least a little bit easier to slice and dice.
Oh, looks like our runners will be getting lucky as the second Hyrule Castle chest does contain bombs.
Well, that means 3 extra checks that could make an early game, or before leaving. So, I mean, that could have something good. It could not. We don't know.
Yeah, usually in a standard play, you really don't want to leave back of escape behind till later, because, yeah, that's just an Koi deciding to give Zelda a playmate in the cell. I admit I've never seen that. I've never seen that before. I must be honest. He's also carrying the guard outside.
And it's always nice to make a friend, you know? Alright.
But yeah, so far, besides Ice Rod, not much, and the ability to check back of escape with those bombs, not much going on here in this Hyrule Castle escape sequence. Now, after this is all said and done, and we really start getting bringing this seed to life, what are you hoping to see, like, overall out of this? I did notice we had 2 pendants in the Light World with, by the way, someone did a map check. I think the only crystal was actually Desert Palace. I think Eastern was green pendant and Hyrule was blue pendant. So we actually only have 1 pendant in the Dark World, so possibly forget what I said about Pendant Turtle Rock. It's only a 1 in 7 chance.
I mean, it could be. But it might not be. But it could be. And that's
pretty
the scary
much.
thought. Because, I mean, you don't want to have to dip into Turtle Rock if you don't have to, but at the same time, you might have to. And so that's always a fear that I have whenever I run these seeds and I see Pendant on Turtle Rock.
Yeah, another big thing to consider is that because it is Ambrosia's settings, Trinex is guaranteed to have an item, so it may end up being, as unlikely as it may seem, that Trinex ends up having progression, and you have to go all the way through Pendant Turtle Rock to get it, which, again, as unlikely as it seems, it could still happen. Rando will rando, as it has proven countless times.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we've seen that with the cave formerly known as Hype throughout its many iterations, so...
Oh, yes.
Well, it looks like Dark Cross only has a big 20, so, I mean, they're one step of the way towards getting that bottle vendor, you know?
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of, there hasn't been much in the way of cash this seed, and it looks like the ropes here are only generating hearts, so I don't think that means rupees are high up on the docket for that particular loot drop pool either.
Well, I mean, at least Koi was able to get a refill on it, so that's a plus.
And the...
Heart. So that means we have an item in Sync Chest.
Yeah, it's also one of the lousiest back of escapes I've seen in a while, given that it's a standard start.
That just means there's going to be a lot more interesting plays that are going to be going on.
Yeah, actually, I'm very interested to see what happens when we start hitting the high-density zones. Cack Well, Blind's Hut, Mini Moldorm Cave. Once we start getting there, at least I hope things start coming to life. I really hope the seed doesn't end up railroading everybody.
But with a piece of heart in Saint Chest, I mean, it's getting more and more likely. I mean, we still have 10 checks, 10 easy checks that is, to go. I mean, we have the bombs for it. You know, won't be too bad.
Yeah, we're hoping boots show up relatively early here, as mentioned by that uncle hint that boots are in the light world. That does mean a lot of spots, but that also does include... Well, actually, no, it does not include, thankfully, Lumberjack Ledge, because you kind of need the boots to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And our runner's confirming the map layout for everybody. I'm sorry, did Koi's sign throw just get intercepted by a heart?
My stream lagged out, so I unfortunately was not able to see that.
Fascinating. Looks like it's 10 sticks on the Lumberjack, but in the Thieves' Hideout in the Lost Woods, we had a bottle with a B, so we've got a nice early bottle for Kakariko.
Yep. Hi, B-Torp. I'm still sad that they got rid of bottles in, or rid of items in bottles.
Are you...
in SMZ3?
Yeah.
Such a shame.
At least it's a little more consistent, if nothing else.
That is true.
But yeah, now we're going to start seeing some stuff popping up on your screen here. Chloe checking Blind's Hut, but getting nothing so far but an ammunition and health refill.
At least those bombs means she can check the rest of CAC and not have to worry about buying them. Thankfully these... I mean... if she goes down and grabs another set of rupees, she can easily check the bottle thing. I mean, if there's nothing in bottom well.
Yeah, actually, it's not too often we have a standard start, and we still, by the time we hit Kakariko, don't have bottle vendor money. There we go. There's some rupees in the front of the well.
Oh, and more bombs. Oh, and lamp? Oh no.
Alright.
That does not bode well.
Yeah, actually it doesn't, because we're already given a sword right off the bat here, so sword and lamp is is 2 out of 3 pieces of the AGA 1 puzzle, which, given that we haven't seen much else, we do not want that to be Dark World access, because AGA 1 with Fighter Sword is a slow climb, and not to mention long.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, no, those two words kind of go hand in hand, so you get the idea.
Though I did miss it. Did you see what the bottle vendor had?
Yes, it was just a big 20. Alright, Chloe getting the Bombos medallion from Sick Kid.
Gotta love that spiral coin.
That's actually...
It actually comes in quite handy when running through Ice Run, or Ice Cave. Oh, and he sold the bee for $20.
It's actually $100. Because it was a good bee.
Oh, ooh. So yeah, definitely made Koi just made a chicken fly through a wall.
Oh yeah, the famous chicken clip maneuver there.
Right, but I haven't seen that one done. I've seen people throw it at the bomb, but I haven't seen people, like, set a bomb and, like, it just flies through the wall. Like that.
Bottom of Kakariko only showing us a big 20 on the library and a heart container on the race game, so besides that Bombos medallion and the lamp, just a bit of a fiery cack. Not much going on here.
Oh, most definitely. So far, there is not much. I mean, are we gonna find progression in Eastern? Is it gonna be in Moldorm Cave?
The lamp does put the vanilla big key chest of Eastern into logic, so that does give us a little bit more to play with, but only a little right now by itself.
Right.
We still need like a glove for Death Mountain. We can't. The lamp is a good fire source for Desert as well, and Hera. Once we can cross those bridges.
Unless it's boots locked, in which case, I mean, then you can't really do much.
Very true. Very true. Now, Leslie's gonna blind check the race game here, and is not gonna be particularly happy with what is found there. Actually, if you're like under 10 hearts in green mail, finding heart containers usually isn't that big of a deal.
Right. Because it's better than getting a piece of a heart. In which case, I mean, oh, that's smart using the good B to go and just take out all the Moldorms.
Yeah, you got a couple of options. You've got the Bombos medallion, and hey, that's worth the dive. Flippers and a hook shot coming from Mini Moldorm Cave. Now things are starting to come to life here.
So if we find a glove, that's Eastern Death Mountain, and that's a ton of checks.
Absolutely.
And it would be in logic too, considering that we do have lamp.
Yeah, I'm sure our runners wouldn't mind seeing Flute either, because that's an alternative way to make all those Death Mountain checks viable. Besides the old man.
Oh, looks like Koi is going to go ahead and do a Nagina check.
Ooh, spicy. Yeah, Agina's a tough check to route in optimally, especially since he's pretty much by himself back there.
It's always good to go and do it whenever you go into desert or do your mire checks, because then it's all in one area, if you can.
Yeah, I know. Now I noticed Koi did not go and peek the desert ledge. Went straight into Agina's cave to find just another little bit of love.
Where does the seed want them to go? I mean, they can go check Zora's ledge. I mean, they don't have the money for Zora, but I mean, unless there's like 200-300 rupee things in Waterfall Ferry.
I mean, we had an SMZ3 multi-world on Sunday where both players' links houses had 300 rupees, but they were both for player one.
Oh.
It was actually kind of hilarious. But looks like we had Pegasus boots on Hylia Island, thereby satisfying our Uncle Boots
World check. Meanwhile, Koi doing their Moldorm Cave, and Hobo into the well just has a few explosives. Must be why he's hiding under the well, or under the bridge.
Maybe he's a demolition man.
Could be. Maybe it's leftovers from building the bridge. I mean, maybe they had to break up the waterway.
Yeah, I know blasting is a common thing in construction, but I didn't think like this.
Never.
And Waterfall Ferry, just another ferry of love here with a container and a heart piece, and also filling bottles with bees.
Lots of bees. So many bees.
But yeah, we're still missing Mirror to be able to, and Dark World access to be able to pick up those Pegasus boots, so we shall see when those two show up, if they show up within a reasonable period.
I think I honestly think the Seed wants them to go to Eastern. Because, I mean...
That is pretty much all they have left at this point.
Yeah,
Because
because,
Death
I mean...
Mountain...
They need gloves to get into Death Mountain or Flute. And overall, I mean, could could Saha's Closet have something?
Absolutely. Sahasra's Claws could have something. King Zor himself is only in logic by flippers, even though the game may be a little money starved. The game expects you to farm for them via whatever means are available to you. So
Go ahead.
it's not. I would not be surprised if King Zor had the sword, but
there's Master.
Yeah,
that does not bode well at all.
Yeah, that opens up Bag of One clear as day, but given the entirety of Eastern
they need Pearl.
They do need Pearl, but and the other thing is they're actually only going to find 2 items here in Eastern Palace. The third item is guaranteed to be on the Armos Knights. And is currently inaccessible without one of the bows.
I mean, unless they find a bow in there.
Ah, vanilla bow. Who'da thunk?
Oh? It looks like Koi is just biting the bullet and heading up Aga.
Yeah, this is
and a single arrow on
yep.
Zorledge.
The great single arrow of destiny. Nice early big key for Eastern, so straight to the big chest it will be.
I mean, checking the chest to the right here isn't too bad because they have hookshot. They can just hookshot across without having to go through that detour room.
Indeed. Another thing is, if they find 2 items by the big chest, they don't have to go through the dark room for the vanilla big key chest because the third item will be guaranteed on the boss.
And just a few explosives is item number 1 for that.
Yeah, that's an interesting feature about Ambrosia, is it really throws some interesting scenarios ahead and projects a lot more scenarios where you might be able to skip some undesirable checks, like that Eastern Vanilla Big Key or Hera Basement, to list a couple of examples.
Oof. Looks like Nai ended up missing the quick kill. Oh. And there is a compass, so this is a 50-50 chance. This is either a map, and he has to circle around all the way, or this is an item. It's the map, and he has to circle around.
Yeah, and with Lamp, though, this room will be fairly trivial, and granted, for runners of these caliber, they can, the Eastern Palace Dark Room isn't, that much of a difficult traversal, but even still, dark rooms are still dark rooms. You would never know what can be hiding behind behind the lack of light.
Honestly, this dark room is the easiest in the game. It's perfect for beginners to start getting a grasp on how to do dark rooms without sight. So I mean, it's not too bad because it's 2 square rooms, you know. So it's not too bad.
Pretty much.
Second easiest one is obviously the one in Total Rock, because you can just hold buttons at a certain time and it's an Aga check. So Koi really did read the seed on this one.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for Koi at the moment. It's 50-50 chance our progression's on Pyramid Ledge. I'm gonna laugh if it's on King Zora.
I think it is. I think we'll find our Moon Pearl on Pyramid Ledge.
Yeah, that'll pretty much all but confirm definitely Agaseed. And while we're at it, let's see how many blue balls we're going to get today. I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to say just 2.
I'd say 4.
No, we haven't seen any yet. Well, watch me eat
1.
my words.
Accommodator's Curse, anyone?
No, that's a typical day at the office for
2.
me.
And Nai is going to go ahead and check, or start doing their climb up the giant tower.
I think we're still at 2 blue balls, right? I don't think.
Still 2.
Oh, now it's
3.
3. Well, my guess is thrown out the window. I'm sorry, not thrown out the window, thrown down the tower. But this will be, actually, that is guaranteed now 3 blue balls, so that is game over for Aggle 1, and Koi's going to the Dark World.
You were too low, I was too high.
The mini blind sprite is pretty...
Oh!
Oh! That's a sword on Pyramid Ledge, which means the progression is on Zora!
Oh, wow.
Can you say time to go farming?
I didn't know we were playing Harvest Moon. I thought we were playing Zelda.
But yeah, so, and Koi's unfortunately gonna end up finishing doing the Eastern Sweep beforehand, most likely. But yeah, and since our runners have flippers, the only way they can get a nice cash injection via the Houlihan room is by doing they can't even do bomb back of escape because they don't have power gloves. Fascinating. This is going to, this is going to be painful when our runners come to the conclusion that they must get those rupees.
Koi is going to get bombs and they don't even know what they're going to do. I think the easiest way to get rupees at this point is probably going to be, like, Blind's Hut and Easter. Or Blind's Hut, because you can go down, you can pick up 20 rupees, you can go back up. I mean, that's the easiest way you can do it, because they don't have a power glove, they can't pick up the rock over next to Ice Rod Cave, so I mean...
Yeah, now, and you mentioned Eastern Palace too, yeah, that fairy refill room, or that small rupee room right near the big key door behind the big chest also has 5 times 18, that's like, what's that, 15 times 6, so that's 30 times 3, 90 rupees?
So, that's 300, currently for our runners. He's gonna go, or Koi's gonna go and see the Stick of Destiny. And
yeah, unfortunately, the cave near Gary, where we turned the purple chest, is unavailable without a glove. So yeah, this is gonna be real painful.
Right, I bet our runners are soon gonna be regretting not doing Houlihan earlier before getting, or checking that,
To be fair, it'll be sort of 50-50 for them, because I'm very sure they would like to see a roughly what's going to be like 25-minute tempered sword for them.
Oh, definitely, because Tempered Sword is the best damage upgrade in the game, so I mean, it's definitely a lot nicer. Oh, and it looks like Koi's actually going to go ahead and grab those rubies that are in the right side of the back of this gate, or back side of the...
The nice thing is we're going to get to see all of our bunny sprites, and we've got our Dark World map check while we're at it. Pod and Meyer are our 5/6 crystals, and Skull Woods is our final pendant, so that ice rod very much required this evening.
At least now we won't have to worry about searching for that ice rod. Of course, right now we're searching for progression, but I mean, that's the point.
I think if Zora has Moon Pearl, it'll still be an Agaseed anyway, but if Zora has Bow and progressions on Armos Knights, or the chain just keeps on going, it's going to be like a lot of eye rolling from our runners, most likely. Nice thing is we're going to get to see everybody's bunny sprites.
Oh, definitely.
And
Homer's is Devil Bart, I think?
I think it's Evil Homer. I think it's something along that line.
I think it's Bart in a devil costume.
Might be.
If I recall correctly. Oh. Looks like crows drop bombs.
Now we'd just like to take a minute to welcome the folks coming in from Speed Gaming 2. You are joining us tonight for the Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race. We've got an Ambrosia C for you, and we've hit a bit of a weird scenario here where we actually have progression on Zora, but money has been kind of sparse. Basically because everybody's last locationing the Zora and has already pretty much done Aga 1 with the exception of Leslie Pro, who is doing that right now.
Oh, I think Chloe's about to do an Ohulan bomb dive.
Yeah, I forgot. I think this was the original way,
Oh.
Or not.
I think they may have messed it up, possibly. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, I think I remember this is actually one of the original ways that getting into Houlihan Room was discovered.
Leslie, what are you doing?
Oh, he's doing a tree. He's trying to do a tree pull. He's trying to check the tier 1 tree pull.
I'm talking about Leslie. They jumped off of... They jumped off of... Did they set up a... What were they doing? I'm not sure. Anyways.
Let me think, yeah, it looks like... I don't think Leslie checked Agina's cave yet, but yeah, Koi is getting that Ruby Phillip and is now noping out of Eastern, and yeah, I think it's just, I think everybody knows by now that everybody's going to Kakariko, because there's only one good place to get rupees right now.
Mm-hmm. And would that be Blind's Hut or Bottom of Well? I'm not sure which one is better.
I think Blind's Hut is more reliable, because these back phases here have 30 rupees.
You're right. 30 compared to the 10. 15?
I think it's 10, because I think it's 2 vases.
2 vases, and then if you go into the back, there's another couple. So
Leslie launching a bomb at the Desert Hermit back there. That's not very nice.
Look, he gives you a little bit of love, and this is how you treat him? Okay.
Exactly. Man, talk about ignoring the age-old rules of respect your elders.
Yeah, but, I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, chat brings up a good point. The Waterfall Fairy did give out those bees earlier. I think they're just regular bees, but... oh no, they are good bees, I think, because I see the sparkle on the bottom right of Koi's bottle. So Koi might actually grab an extra 100 here.
I don't think they used their bee yet.
You're probably right. I think Koi actually may have not used the bee. But yeah, oh, Leslie's gonna take a bit of a unconventional strategy here and gamble. Much to his minor detriment here.
Looks like we're almost done with this rupee grinding.
Yeah, I think Koi's gonna go ahead and turn in that bee. And it just has to make sure that the bird statue's not in view, otherwise the bee will just hover around the bird statue and not go to the bottle vendor. But yeah, Koi, with that holding on to that bee, has gotten the money necessary for Zora. So we'll finally figure out what Zora's been keeping from us for the last half an hour. What do you think? You think it's going to be Bow, or do you think it's going to be Moon Pearl? Or do you think it's going to be Book to go, like, in a desert or something?
I hope it's something like Book, which leads to something else, which leads to Moon Pearl. I hope it's like a long. No, I hope it leads to Shovel, which leads to Book, which leads to Moon Pearl.
Oh,
That's what I hope.
Shovel would be hilarious. Yeah, I think the one that would be the most useful for our runners would be the glove, because that opens up Death Mountain, by extension East Death Mountain. It opens up what else is... Yeah, that's about it. It opens up all the Death Mountain checks. But
there's Moon Pearl.
Indeed,
it was an Naga Seed.
Indeed it was, but now Koi has a bit more range from the Dark World, but is going to have to take the long way from the house, because the save and quit spot onto the pyramid in the Dark World does not become... Well, he saved and quit in the Light World anyway, but the spawn point on the pyramid is not actually available until you pick up Mirror. But with our current equipment, really the only thing we could do is... Oh, actually, we have flippers, so we can get to the, we can go ahead and check out the, south side of, Dark World. And Hookshot, for that matter, so we can also, make our way to Village of Outcasts.
Though you have to go through North Dark World, and that is never a fun time for anyone involved, you know?
Indeed. So yeah, they have options on the table. Unfortunately, a couple of them are pretty long walks.
And it looks like Koi is gonna actually go ahead and do that long walk all the way to Village of Outcasts. Smart play, honestly. Because there's a huge item pool in both Village of Outcasts and also, like, Skullwoods. Wait, that's only, like, one item now.
Skullwoods... Yeah, Skullwoods right now is actually only going to be one item, because we know the other item is in the back. Because of the Ambrosia setting.
Probably wouldn't be a smart idea to dip Skullwoods at this point.
Yeah, I would wager Koi's gonna peek Bumper Ledge over here, and then probably, maybe just quickly dive Skullwoods to see if that first item is something particularly lucky. If it is, great. If not, off to Village of Outcasts.
I would do that only after I got Fire Rod, because it's a pendant dungeon. So, I mean, you don't really want to deal with it. But, I mean,
actually, I'm trying
wise, I figure, you know, it might be. So.
Actually, I'm trying to think. We are actually looking for, if you want to start talking about pedestal, we're only looking for 3 items: a glove, a fire rod, and a bow. That's it. So there are a lot of very good candidates for pedestal today, including Hammer.
I mean, we also need Mirror. We do need Mirror, because, what was it?
That is true, to get to Hera.
The dam. Get the dam.
Swamp's not a pendant, though.
No, it's a... Is it a pendant? No, it's not. It's
Skullwoods
it's
is the other pendant, yeah.
Right, so it's a crystal,
Hera's
so
the pendant, though. Hera's the pendant, though, so we do need...
Right.
We need either Mirror or Hammer. So it can only be one or the other. That might be unped.
I mean, that aside, I mean, we need flippers to get to Swamp. So, I mean, those are required. So, I mean, those might be on. Sorry. We might need... sorry, I cannot speak. I lost my train of thought. So, basically, if Mirror is on Ped, then we could have Hammer on... then Hammer would need to be in Hera, or somewhere in one of the other places.
Hammer would need to show up. Hammer would need to show up pre-Tower of Hera in that case.
Right.
Like it'd have to be on East Death Mountain.
That's what I meant.
All right, everybody. Oh, and Leslie just chucked a bomb into the water. But yeah, now the seed's starting to come to life here with everybody grabbing their moon pearls after a very annoying blind rupee farm. And the game rewarding Koi in kind with the green ruby of eternal glory, one of the two. The C-shaped house kind enough to reward back with a shirt, though, so at the very least, there's an extra defense buff going into the Dark World, which you will not say no to. But yeah, going back on pedestal for a second, there are a lot of things that could be on ped here. We can have cane, flute, medallions, mirror or hammer, possibly book if that's our way into desert. Mitts could be on pedestal. Ped's looking pretty darn healthy right now. Granted, it's still only 35 and a half minutes into the seed, so things can change on a dime, as they usually do when it comes to stacked ped possibilities. Alright, I believe we've seen one item so far here in the front of Thieves' Town.
And thieves can have, let's see here.
Thieves has 4 items.
4 items. So 3 are available for pickup, and then 1 will be on blind.
Right, so if we see 2 items ahead of time, that's going to be pretty big sigh of relief, because that will assure that we don't have to worry about Thieves' Town Big Chest, which I can assure you has burnt runners on many occasion.
Oh, definitely. This is an interesting divergence. Chloe is just going ahead and doing Mullet Mansion.
Yeah, this Chloe spent a little extra time grinding an extra 130 rupees just to have the extra money for pod, which is not a bad call, because it's also possible we could have bow or hammer in here, and we'd be expected to complete that to move things along here, because this Thieves' Town play, I gotta tell you, this hasn't been yielding much so far, and pod is not bow locked either, so... Alright, second item shows up in the attic of Thieves' Town with an extra bomb refill.
They didn't buy potions, so they can't do potion glitch to get to the right side of pod.
Right.
So I mean, and they didn't find a bottle with a potion.
No, and they would have to mimic clip in this circumstance if they wanted to visit the bow lock side. I was gonna giggle if that was a bow in that vanilla big key chest right there.
Speak of the devil, it shall be.
Now, pod's coming up pretty dry too. This is very strange, considering that we've already had to do Zora for progression. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
There's Eastern Death Mountain at least. I mean, so that means there's something on blind. Could be something big. I mean, it could be. It could be our other mitts, and then, there's that, but...
I've never seen 2 gloves back-to-back in that fashion ever. That would be great if we could actually see it while I'm in here in the booth. But,
I
yeah.
definitely agree with you there.
But yeah, with the glove, pretty much the only glove check we can really do that is of any significance right now is the East Death Mountain, Death Mountain play, so... I would wager that's Koi's...
Because if you think about it, there's 5 checks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 checks just on the base of Death Mountain. And then moving up, there's Spiral Cave, there's just all sorts of different checks up there. There's like, I think 8 checks right around.
And actually, chat is saying... I gotta stop you for a second, because I think chat just caught that there was another glove in pod. So technically, we actually
Oh.
have Logical Titans mitts right now because I'm pretty sure this area is
Oh.
perfectly in logic.
It is. That's interesting.
And Koi's actually going to grab a little extra cash. He might actually be thinking about heading to Pod right now, which would actually be really good news, because this would allow Koi to dip Dark Death Mountain on the first trip.
So, an interesting thing I've figured out, or heard from Andy, is if you hit the same squid 5 times with 5 arrows, apparently you get 9 or max rupees or something, if I heard right. I think that's how
I am not familiar with the inner workings of the Archer game, I must confess. So I guess consult sources on that one. Apparently, we also completely missed that Quake was in Pod as well. So that's a medallion taken off our potential shopping list as well. And Koi gonna go ahead and dig around for a mirror. Ooh, you know what that does? That makes Swamp Palace a full clearable crystal dungeon. Oh, no it doesn't. Sorry, no hammer, no hammer. Although, thankfully, there is no item in the Thieves' Town big chest today, so our runners will not have to concern ourselves with that today. Although the mirror does allow Koi to go grab, as Chad points out, go grab those Pegasus boots on the Lake Hylia Island. I would wager Koi's going to route those in sooner rather than later, just to circumvent the potential of a boots-locked desert.
Well, not only that, but mushroom. I was like, oh yeah, not only that, but it's just faster to run around than walk.
Absolutely. Didn't look like there was a lot going on in Spectacle Rock for Chloe, and now they're going to go ahead and everybody's going to start New York Rambler and or NY Rambler, and Chloe is going to go ahead and start climbing up Death Mountain. Finally going to get a look at these 7 checks here in Paradox Cave. Typically quite the treasure trove, given how early the sea was pointing fingers at this direction. And Hype Cave starting with the other green rupee. Also gives us a cape, which is our first invincibility item of the night, but I don't know. Bumper Cave already was nothing important. It was a big 20, so I don't know. I wouldn't consider that a particularly high cave, and Paradox Cave only giving us Butter Sword. Okay, I say only, but Butter Sword's nice.
It is nice. And this is why I call it the cave formerly known as Hyde. Because, I mean, at one point, it just isn't what it used to be, you know?
No, it
a
is
shadow
not.
Of its former self. Oh, Koi picking up their dashy boots. Why do I call it that? Why? Because, you know, they're kind of dashing, you know?
Fair enough. Unfortunately, Chloe and NY Rambler are going to be going through Spiral Cave the slow way. The Resident Sleeper Cave, as we now call it under this fashion. And looks like Koi's going to go ahead and quickly turn in that mushroom and probably route in a catfish check if I had to hazard a guess. And it's just bombs. No sign of Candace Samario, so Koi is not going to go ahead and save scum that. All right, let's see what the other grumpy fish of the land of Hyrule has for us today.
Oh, just a lot of love. But
I'm actually,
Koi's deciding not to take it.
yeah, I can kind of understand that. At 9 Hearts Blue Mail, given that we're still only 1 crystal in for the majority of our runners at this point, there really isn't too critical of a need for health just yet. Blue Mail just makes life a lot easier, but let's see where Koi decides to go next. It does not look like he's going to Pod. I was going to check, I think this is going to be a Graveyard Legend King's Tomb check, which makes sense. This is pretty much the only time you're going to get to do these, and you might as well, this is most likely going to be routed in with Death Mountain as well, if I had to hazard a guess. I've been hazarding a lot of guesses today, I notice. I am curious to know, of all the things that we are looking for, where is our first expected bow here? Because that's gating off. Well, it's only gating off 1 crystal, but it's also gating off that green pendant on Eastern. I'm curious to know if that might have something we're looking for. Alright, so yeah, Koi is heading, yeah, he's pulling out the mirror. He's probably going to go to Death Mountain after checking Bonk Rocks here. Which I do believe this is also new information, so this should be our last major boots check for the time being. And what do you know, all the money was hiding behind Pegasus boots.
Just whenever you don't need it anymore. I mean, it'll be useful if they go buy potions. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's not something you want to see.
Yeah, Koi's doing pretty solid on cash, especially since he grinded up that extra cash from the archery game before doing Stumpy.
Always a smart move, you know?
Yeah, certainly a smart move at the time, but just unfortunate that immediately afterwards Koi got 150 rupees from King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks. It's also kind of a bummer Koi's not dipping Pod beforehand so that it could be dipping into this area with Titan's Mitts, but and actually, come to think of it, we either have progression in Swamp at this point right now. We have progression either in Swamp or Dark Death Mountain right now, because I'm pretty sure East Death Mountain didn't have anything besides that sword. So
I think it wants them to go Swamp.
yeah, given that mirror in the dig game especially, I would that would have actually almost immediately started making me think Swamp.
Or. It wants them to dip both, Thieves Town and Palace of Darkness, get the mitts, and dip Ice Palace.
That is possible, because Bombos Medallion does let them pretty much skate through the whole dungeon, with Hookshot in tow as well, unless it's Samaria locked, which is fairly unlikely.
I mean, I don't think it would be.
Yeah, even then, runners of this caliber don't need to worry about Samaria logic. And actually, we can only access 1 chest in Swamp until we get it, unless Hammer shows up. And if that chest so happens to be Hammer, that is going to lead to a lot of frustration slashes, no doubt.
Oh, most definitely.
And as Leslie has demonstrated twice now today, he will not hesitate to vent that frustration in a spectacular manner. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, we can't finish up Pod without Hammer and Bow. We can't do Desert because we don't have Book or.
And we don't have. We do have mitts. We do have access to mitts, so they can go in that way.
We have
Because
mitts,
we do
but
have
they.
mirror. We have mirror.
We have mitts and mirror, but we do not have flute.
Flute. That's right. We don't have flute.
So yeah, we're still looking
the
for
most
either.
important one, you know.
Yeah, we're still looking for either book or flute. Yeah, and ice we're still looking for. Ice we could dip, as you mentioned earlier, but that's a really disgusting logic chain because that would imply that Pot is a forced double dip, which you never want to see.
No, you really don't. I had to double dip a turtle rock twice, or I had to double dip a turtle rock. That was a pendant to actually complete Ganon's tower. It was stupid.
Oh my!
So, and Pod is definitely one of those that you just do not want to have to double dip.
Oh, actually, I just realized since Koi has mirror and as just demonstrating now, Koi can go ahead, yeah, and do Tower of Hera.
Mm-hmm. Though it does look like Chloe actually went ahead and got her Titans. Oh, and it looks like a bee in a bottle.
Well, that's the only item in Hera, so Koi now knows he can just run straight up top.
Mm-hmm. So
not even gonna bother.
Bottle clip.
Yeah, gonna do the Hera pod here. Nicely done. So yeah, this is gonna be one of the quickest towers of Hera I've ever seen.
Oh, most definitely.
Because Butter Sword.
Surprised I didn't grab the bottle though. Thing. Because I mean, that bottle could be an extra potion.
It could be, but Koi's a very very well-versed Link to the Past runner. I don't think he's too concerned about being behind a bottle and once
money.
again, nothing but money. Oh, this is something we're gonna have to bring up in the interview. Ah, cruel irony. But yeah, that's gonna end Koi's mountain dive for the time being. Actually, I really can't say mountain dive, really, because it's more of a climb. Alright, Chloe picking up the mirror while Leslie's just now starting to make the Death Mountain climb. I'm not going to say dive this time. And Koi is going to pod. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what Koi does next after this. Is Koi going to go back and do Dark Death Mountain, courtesy of the save and quit point, or is he going to follow Chloe's route here and do the Smith chain? So, plenty of options still on the table here as we, as the seed starts sort of spoon-feeding our runners the progression piece by piece. Oh!
Looks like it's Flute Smith this time. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Well, that awkward glove dip logically required at least for that flute. So, well, that puts the mire area into logic when we still don't have a hammer.
And desert.
Very true. Yeah, so that's a pair of crystals we can potentially. Well, mire we can't clear without Kane anyway, but desert we can absolutely clear no problem by now.
Salute. You may relax.
To answer question, chat, yes, Koi did do Paradox Cave, and Moldorm takes the first victim of the day.
Ugh.
And immediately follows up with the second victim of the day.
Moldorm. Even with the butter sword, still managing to have fun with the runners.
And yes, chat, it was Flute on the Smiths. Alright, Chloe's gonna go ahead and route in. He's gonna route in the purple chest with the K45 checks here. Which we might see. Oh, we got simultaneous blue pendant collection going on here on the left side of your screen. And Koi is about to get those mitts. So, where is that hammer? What do you think, 5D?
I don't know at this point. I still think that the Ice Palace dip would probably be the best bet at this point.
Yeah, hammer on ice would be is practically a meme at this point. So,
But, so yeah, I think that the seed is definitely hinting that they should dip into Ice Palace with that rod.
Well, that was Red Cane,
Right.
on
Or
the,
Cane,
yeah, I know, I getcha. But yeah, with Kane, yeah, that does make Ice Palace a lot more bearable, courtesy of the Icebreaker glitch, but Kane is also our way through, Mire now, so... Yeah, because you can do Mire without Hammer. This is a fascinating chain of events we got going on here.
I, at this point, don't know what to do. At this point, if I was a runner, I'd have given up.
Yeah, because now that this adds the 2 items in Mire, one of which is guaranteed to be on Vitreous back there. There's still the entirety of the Mire area, the 2 shed checks, the checkerboard cave, although we may luckily still be locked out of Mire because we might still be looking for an ether medallion, but looks like Koi has decided to immediately traverse back up the mountain and do the Dark Death Mountain checks here. Here we go.
To be fair, that's not a bad, that's not bad, because if you think about it, there's tons of value in Dark Death Mountain, so I mean, it's not a bad check at all. Although the logic seems to be aiming them towards either Ice Palace, as I mentioned, or Misery Mire.
Yeah, and if it's not in either of those 2, it's gonna be like First Chest of Swamp Palace, which is just disgusting.
Oh, it is the worst. Also a meme.
And I think it is a safe bet to assume that Pod is in fact a forced double dip here, because I can't foresee. I think the only way it would be is if Hammer. Well, even if Hammer wasn't Swamp, we're still looking for Bow too. So, and it is Ether for Turtle Rock.
The one coin we don't have.
And
So, they can do all of Hookshot Cave because they, well, have Hookshot. So that's a plus. And more rupees.
Show me the money.
Oh, Redarang. The objectively worst of the 2 boomerangs.
Yeah, mainly for the lag.
More cat.
That's a lot of red in that Hookshot Cave. Besides the besides the 300. Uh-oh, Chloe's getting swarmed. Yeah, I think Chloe never checked the lumberjack, so disappointed by that, no doubt.
No doubt, but I mean, at the same time, could be useful if you didn't have all of the sticks already.
And looks like Chloe is following that cane and heading in the direction of Misery Mire here.
Meanwhile, Rambler was having trouble with that Helmasaur. Picking up his Quake, though.
I'm sorry?
He was picking up his Quake, or did pick up his Quake.
I think so. I think I saw the Quake pop out. It is Bombos for Misery Mire today, so we can absolutely full clear that dungeon right now with our current equipment. Chloe most likely will do so after clearing out Desert.
Smart man? Or smart...
Yeah,
Clever
yeah,
guy.
it is. It is.
Not picking up the bottle, though. No one likes the bottle.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with everyone passing up the bottles. Koi passed up the one in Hera, Chloe passed up the one there. That's actually the first time I didn't even notice that was a bottle there on Desert Legend until now. I think that's the first time we're seeing. And they've all had bees.
And it was boots locked, so even if they did find it somewhere, I mean, or even if they did find books somewhere, they would still need boots.
Yeah, and boots to be fair are pretty free this seed. Although it looks like the crystal is not boots locked necessarily today, because big key in the map chest. But even still, the second item was boots. The second item is most likely boots locked.
More than likely. Though this Moldor will definitely be a free kill with the gold sword. Oh, and it looks like our one item in the front is just a little bit of love.
Yeah, actually, our runners are starting to really do good on hearts here. Leslie's actually packing 14. With Blue Mail, that's a fairly safe health situation for the rest of the game. Koi is about to get that red cane, and we'll see where he goes next after this. Has picked up the flute from the smith, so is he going to go to desert, or is he going to dip ice?
Oh, looks like they're dipping, or looks like Koi is going to go ahead and do the mire check. Honestly, it depends on what they get here. Or, I mean, they may just route it where they do swamp first and then mire. Or, sorry, not mire. Swamp first and then ice. Because
Yes.
it's like...
Yeah, Swamp's gonna be a weird one though, because we're still looking for Hammer. We still can't get past that second chest. Technically, first chest is guaranteed to have a key. You know, specifics. But yeah, we got, this is interesting. Koi deciding to do Mire first, despite, I believe he's, yeah, Koi's in a position to full clear desert here as well. So, just interesting decision to do Mire first. But, as you mentioned earlier, Buttersword making Lanmulus trivial fight. And getting half magic for the trouble, so all of our runners will be guaranteed half magic this seed. It's actually been a really good utility seed. Our runner is going to be packing Butter Swords, half magic for Ganon. That's and Blue Mail with at least 12 hearts already. I would say that's a pretty solid circumstance. God not willing, you had to do Silverless Ganon. I'm sorry, was it a Godmire I just noticed? Hang on, I gotta look at my playback on that one, because of course, we're not in go mode, we're looking for stuff, and the big key shows up. Yeah, it was totally a Godmire. This game has a strange sense of humor, you know? And there is our only non-boss item in Mire. It is the powder. So that means Koi can now add the magic bat to the to-do list after clearing desert, most likely. And MY Rambler has also gone back to the Village of Outcasts to do the Smith Chain. Will get the Flute and most likely Cane to follow. I am actually surprised that our runners have chosen... I'm actually not too... actually, I take that back. I'm not too surprised our runners are choosing Desert and Mire over Ice, because it is 2 full clearable crystal dungeons. So the convenience of getting those both out of the way now, especially since Mire is a red crystal, the convenience of getting them both out of the way now certainly... I can understand that outweighing the desire to do Ice Palace, even with Icebreaker. And folks, if you could please rise if able and remove your caps for the Hyrulean National Anthem. Wow, that's the 3rd Rage Bomb Leslie's dropped on people today. As Leslie throws another one to the Smiths. He's gonna throw another one to Gary in a second here, most likely. And Koi just playing a bit of whack an eyeball and gets the hammer on Vitreous. Who in chat called that 20 minutes ago? My goodness gracious, folks, strap yourselves in. Here we go. And at this point, suddenly this puts Pedestal on life support, as the only thing it could have is the Ether Medallion. Bow cannot be on Ped since it's in... well, it could have Book on Pedestal to something on the tablets too, to be fair. But Bow cannot be on Ped since it is needed for Eastern, and Fire Rod is needed for Skull Woods. So our go mode at this time is the Bow and Fire Rod. And the Ether Medallion. Now, luckily for Chloe, Chloe's about... Everybody's actually heading in the direction of Mire, so they will be getting their hammers at roughly the same point in their routing. Wow, that is yeah, I'm just surprised that, I mean, granted, you know, somebody always calls everything when it comes to these races, but hammer on Vidi, that's just ugly. And admittedly, I have never seen that before, so that's a, in the, like, year or so that I've worked these races, that is the first time I've seen that. Now, we're still looking for a bow to put Pyramid Fairy in logic, but Pyramid Fairy could still have Fire Rod or Ether. So let's see what happens from here. Looks like Chloe is going to go to Swamp, which makes a lot of sense. This is another crystal you can full clear. It's got the most item density with 6 items. And for folks that might be wondering, 5D had to step away for a split for a hot minute here. He will be returning shortly. But yep, Chloe has gone straight into Swamp. And I would wager, given that there's still quite a bit on the shopping list here, we're gonna see most, if not all, of our runners go ahead and just go straight for left side Swamp. And Koi gets his third crystal of the night. I don't know why I thought that was the fifth. So this also absolutely confirms, by the way, that Pod is a forced double dip since Titan's Mitts were required to get Hammer. Nope. Numbers are hard, and it's after 10 p.m. I'm a tad bit on the tired side. Not gonna lie. Looks like Koi is going to go to Ice Palace first, and probably route in Swamp right after, if I had to hazard a guess. See if we find Fire Rod in Ice Palace. Yeah, as the seed, as our runners are starting to really put this seed together here, once again, folks, I invite you to give these runners a follow, because all four of them have been putting on a fantastic show for you tonight, just trying to navigate through this clunker of an Ambrosia seed. We'd also like to take a minute to shout out our trackers, Mr. Scruff, Ninja Tuna, and Mad Ewok Herd, who have been very much put to work, especially after the Sphere Zero checks. After we got Moon Pearl, they have been doing a great job pushing all the buttons and making sure everybody knows who has what. So again, a shout out to those, and please also follow my partner 5D100 while you're at it. Alright, NY Rambler has gotten the Maya Crystal, and Chloe is attempting to set up a bomb diver down. And succeeds. Nice little trick to get a water walk in Swamp Palace. Allows you to flood the key, but still pick it up. And alright, so we saw Chloe do a nice glitch for Swamp, and Koi has just done the fantastic Icebreaker glitch to get into the bottom of Ice Palace nice and quickly. 2 items in the front of 2 items before the boss here in Ice Palace. One of which, there is the bow in the ICH room. And second item immediately showing up in a big 20, so Koi is now going to probably just yeet straight to Cold Stare at this point. I didn't see anything of exceptional note in left side Swamp. And Samaria logic matters not now, with Koi packing Cane of Samaria in, with everybody packing Cane of Samaria. This has actually been a very, very linear seed, all things considering, with really not much of an ability to spread out until that Hammer and Meyer showed up. Alright, Koi taking on Cold Stare here, while Chloe is once again doing a diver down to pick up the 2 flooded chests in the back of Swamp Palace. And Butter Sword, and a few slashes later, and down goes Cold Stare in spectacular fashion for some explosives. And that is another crystal for Koi, and I would wager Koi's next stop is probably going to be Swamp. After which, I would bet Koi's probably going to route in Pod, And then probably go to Pyramid Fairy and try banking on a hammer on Pyramid Fairy. Not hammer, excuse me, Fire Rod on Pyramid Fairy scenario. We're also still looking for Ether Medallion. Oh, looks like Koi has decided to step up that schedule a little bit and go to Pod first. I'm very curious to know if Koi is going to route in the green pendant on the Armos Knights afterwards, because that is 2 fairly quick items. And luckily, we can confirm that, well, actually, Turtle Rock's a crystal anyway, but we can confirm progression is not going to be in on Trinex at this point, because you pretty much need all 2 of the remaining Go Mode items to even get there. So, a bit of a lucky break for our runners in that regard, despite all that has occurred in this seed. I'm gonna laugh if Silvers are here in the Bowlock section of Pod. And a bow is bow-locked. Alright, first chest is a key, second chest is another key. Alright, let's see where Chloe's going. Chloe is also going to Ice. We'll pick up that bow. And NY Rambler is also on similar track here, and so is Leslie. Once again, everybody's kind of being railroaded here. There has really been little to no room for divergence here as we come through this seed. I actually just realized Ice Palace can never be Samaria locked in Ambrosia, since Cold Stare always has an item.
Indeed it does.
A little.
Though, no, actually, it could be. But, no, you're wrong. No, I was wrong. Sorry, not you. I am.
So, why don't I tell you what's been going on the last few minutes here?
Sounds good to me.
So, the hammer was on Vitreous. As a couple of folks in chat mentioned, as NY Rambler just picked up the bow and ice, Swamp was actually barren.
Huh.
So this seed has been pretty much railroading our runners no matter how they've been trying to slice it.
I told you, the seed was wanting them to go to ice.
Indeed, and they could have gotten the bow a tad bit earlier, but they would have needed the hammer for Cold Stare anyway, so going to Meyer first was definitely the correct move.
Do they need the hammer for Cold Stare?
Yes, they have to hammer the 2 red pegs right before they drop down.
That's right. That's right.
I think there's someplace else that hammer's also required for as well, but...
if I remember right, it's, oh, it's the room with the 2, what are they? Stalfo? No, those are
moles?
No, 2, knights. The skeleton knights? I can't remember what they're called. Oh, Hailey, help me. This room right here, that Chloe's going through right now.
Yeah, I call it the Ice Age room. Oh yeah, that does need hammer, what do you know? So yeah, that bow was hammer locked. So yeah, right now we're looking for the Ether Medallion and the Fire Rod, the former of which is the only one that could be on the pedestal at this point.
Indeed it is. Because, I mean, we can now do Eastern. We can do, Skullwoods. So long as we find Fire Rod, that is.
I think
And
we've already seen the front of Skull Woods, and I don't think Fire Rod's shown up, so we're waiting for the Fire Rod to give us our stuff in the back.
Right. But so long as we find Fire Rod, then we can go ahead and do that, and then we can finally get Check Pet.
Pretty much. I'm actually surprised Koi did not mirror and immediately go to Armos Knights, considering that it is a guaranteed 2-item check in Eastern Palace with the boss and the green pendant. But it looks like Koi's first stop is going to be Hammer Pegs, followed by Magic Bat, because we also found Powder as the first item in Mire. So actually, Mire was loaded.
Definitely seems that way.
Alright, we've got 2 simultaneous Ice Rod Crystal pickups on Ice Palace. Yeah, Ice Rod was early. Ice Palace Crystal pickups at the top of your screen here, with Leslie about to pick up the second item, and yeah, I think he's picked up Bo at this point, so... But yeah, right now, it's been interesting watching primarily Chloe and Koi kind of bounce back and forth between each other on checking stuff. Right now, Koi does appear a little bit ahead, given how railroaded this seat has been, and just now we're finally starting to be able to spread out a little bit.
It's like a flower that just came into bloom.
Indeed. But yeah, Koi's probably gonna still full clear Swamp, given that there's still 2 items on his shopping list. Now, I'm trying to think. Actually, wait I'm trying to think here. We've seen Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave, and we pretty much full cleared all the other dungeons, so... I think Armos or Green Pendant actually does have progression right now. Or Pyramid Fairy. It's down to those 4, actually. The Armos, Green Pendant, or the 2 Pyramid Fairy checks. And Spy Cave, as Chad points out, so 5 technically. Oh my goodness gracious. To answer your question, Chad, we have seen Stumpy and K45. They were both not too important.
Those were checked earlier on, and they had nothing.
Stumpy had the mushroom, but the mushroom just led to bombs.
So, whole lot of nothing.
I'm wondering if after Swamp and, in Chloe's case, Pod, they're gonna both double back and do Eastern, because I think at this point it is either that or go to Pyramid Fairy.
I mean, Pyramid Fairy could have something that's 2 items, but that's a long walk, considering... Well, I mean, they have hammers, so it's not that long, so never mind.
Yeah, it's not that bad anymore, since they can just, save and quit and go to the pyramid, start there. They could also mirror and use Flute to get to Link's house, either or.
Yeah, I think it would be easier just to mirror, use Flute, and go down to the warp south of Link's house and just go back up.
Alright, NY Rambler going now for Helmasaur King. Should be a fairly smooth and painless fight, with 11 hearts and blue mail still.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if nothing else, I mean, that's... maybe... what, an entire row more of hearts than you would normally have to fight Helmasaur?
Yeah,
So,
I think normally by this point in the game you would have Sank Heart 1, 2, 3. You would have 7 hearts. Not to mention
that is
plus...
if you don't go.
Yeah,
Other
plus
ones,
heart
so.
pieces.
Yeah, just about a row extra of hearts, so I mean, you're good. You're set.
Not to mention Butter Sword.
Oh, definitely.
But
Where
yeah,
you can
we
slay enemies with the power of cholesterol.
But yeah, we finally have a couple of minutes here, although NY Rambler is going to go kill the Armos Knights, it looks like, immediately following the Helmsor King fight. So we're finally going to get some new information on this front, but we finally have a couple of minutes here as NY Rambler makes this trek to kind of catch our breath here and just try and take in what has been quite the entertaining seat to watch.
Oh, definitely. Like, it started out where you're just... Moon Pearl was on Zora, so I had to grind for money. And just everything that could go wrong did go wrong with this seed, and it is fantastic. The only thing that we're looking for that would make it completely the worst is having something they need on pen.
Yeah, the only thing that could be at this point is either ether or book to tablet, or book to a tablet containing ether, but main thing is ether.
Oh, definitely.
Because Fire Rod can't be on Ped, you need it for Skullwoods. But yeah, the logic chain for this seed was to get Moon Pearl on Zora, do Aggle 1 because you had no other way to get to the Dark World, go to Thieves Town for a glove, go to Pod for Titan's Mitts, nope out of Pod because it's a forced double dip, get your flute from the Smith chain courtesy of those mitts, use flute to get to Meyer. And actually, remind me again, where was the Bombos medallion? It was fairly early, if I recall correctly.
It was,
It was in CAC.
yeah, I think it was... No,
Oh.
it was Sick Kid. It was Sick Kid. Sick Kid had, Bombos.
Well, Armos Knights had the book.
Oh!
So that opens up the tablets. So that's another pair of checks and pedestal we can read. But down goes Argus for Koi, so that's going to be Koi's 6th crystal.
All we need is a fire rod, and then...
Well, there's
I mean,
Ether, so Pet's dead. Oh, it's on the green pendant, folks. Not quite a pet seed, but probably
We don't know
second
where
closest
Fire
thing you
Rod-
can get.
We don't...
Fire Rod's got to be on a tablet at this point, I think. Or Pyramid Fair.
Or Ped. It could be Ped.
Fire
'cause
Rod
we don't
cannot be
need
on
it.
Pedestal. Skullwoods is a pendant.
Oh, Skullwoods. You're right. Good point. That's right. So Ped is dead, folks. Ped is dead.
It is very possible, but very unlikely, depending on key layout, we could have a Fire Rod in Turtle Rock as well, because now we can get in through the front door, courtesy of Ether. Oof.
You don't want to see that, though, because that's literally the worst.
Yeah, and considering Ether was behind a Greed Pendant, it's about as close as you can get to pedestal-related shenanigans.
Well, it looks like Rambler is going to go ahead and check their first tablet.
And Koi's grabbing the big red bomb.
And it's a bunch of arrows. Well, good news is that they can check that second... Oh. Koi accidentally set off the bomb.
Well, he might be performing a dupe here. Let's watch.
Oh.
Then he mirrors with it after the timer hits 0. Yoink! And then through the Aggle 1 portal he goes, and presto, at the pyramid.
That is some nifty tech. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's new. That one's kind of new for me, too. I'm not familiar with that particular method of bomb duping. But let's see.
Oh,
Fairy.
there's Fire Rod.
There you go, folks. So
We're in go mode. At
Koi,
120.
Koi is actually still looking for Ether.
Oh.
So we're
in no mode. So at 129, we're in a no mode.
But yeah, Koi's only missing piece of the puzzle is Ether, which is behind Green Pendant, which it looks like that's where Koi's going.
I mean, it's a smart check. I mean, he can easily just clear through it, especially with Butter Sword. It doesn't have silvers though, so you can't use that. But I mean, considering that you have Butter Sword and you don't really need.
Yeah, Koi's gonna be fine.
Oh, no.
But yeah, right now NY Rambler's shopping list is just go to Pyramid Fairy at this point. And Chloe, meanwhile, decided to do Pendant Hair, but that is not going to be the answer, unfortunately. Pendant Skull Wood's actually not required today. How about that?
Definitely interesting.
Yeah, so let's now that we've got it all solved here, profile this whole seed and take you through the entire process here. So you do your Sphere Zero checks. You get
No, even
bottle
before
of
that,
bottles.
first things first. Because you do your Sphere Zero and you get your flippers. So you do Houlihan, you do your flippers, you get your money for Zora. Then after that, you finally get your Moon Pearl, so you can actually go ahead and do Aga. From Aga, you go into Palace of Darkness. You grab your mitt, you dip, and then you leave, and then you go all the way over to Thieves Town. You go ahead and complete Thieves Town while you're there. And then after that, after you get both mitts, then you go to Ice Palace.
Well, no, what you do is you got to do Smith's Chain for Flute, so that you
Smith's
can
Chain
go
for
to
Flute.
Mire, where Viddy has the hammer, and with the hammer in tow, you can then complete Ice and get the bow. At which point, you can now complete Pod and Eastern. Eastern of which will lead you to the Green Pendant, which will lead you to the Ether Medallion, and along the way you gotta visit Pyramid Fairy after beating Pod to grab that Fire Rod.
This
So,
is
yeah.
not a fun scene for
Yeah.
runners. This is cruel and unusual punishment, honestly. Though Koi doing excellently in doing that quick kill.
Looks like Leslie's bringing the bomb in. Leslie did just pick up Ether, so Leslie and Koi are actually going to both be entering Go mode at roughly the same time here.
Oh, looks like Koi's about to enter Go mode as soon as he turns in this Green Pendant.
Yeah, we're gonna have a simultaneous Go modes here. So folks, at 1:33:12 and at 1:33:14 soon after, Koi and Leslie Pro have both entered Go mode.
I don't know about you folks, but this has been an exciting race.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Leslie is still down a crystal compared to Koi, and does still have to do Swamp. It will be a Go mode Swamp, but it will still have to be another dungeon. Meanwhile, Koi is already on the way up the mountain. So Koi certainly has the advantage at this time, but we will see if GT routing or any other fancy shenanigans get in the way of the remainder of his race.
Tile room.
Oh,
if Vicky's
yeah.
in tile room, this seed will be the worst. Though, all things considered, this is still a pretty fast seed. I mean, it's an hour and 30 minutes in, and our runners are already in go mode. Though, Koi getting dead rocked is never a fun time. I mean, at that point, you might want to just walk into the thing, walk back out, because that would probably be faster than dead rock.
Yeah, either that or use Quake, because Quake kills dead rocks.
Yeah, but then
Works,
there's
you know.
all that animation that you have to deal with.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that NY Rambler decided not to go to, at least I don't think he got Fire Rod yet. And given that he's going to Left Side Swamp, yeah, he didn't pick up Fire Rod yet. But Chloe has picked up the Green Pendant and is going to go get that Ether Medallion.
And then they'll have to go ahead and escort the pink ball.
Yeah, that's pretty much Chloe's last check at this point. I have a bad feeling, I missed if Leslie did, but I'm pretty sure that there was another bomb left for Sahasrara on Leslie's screen, because Leslie's been doing that a lot tonight.
Looks like Koi missing the quick drop.
That's a bit unfortunate. It only costs about a second or two, though. Oh, there was a...
Either way, able to use the cape to go pick up these 2 keys. Oh!
We actually have a kind of God TR set up here.
Oh, yeah, you can just dive straight into Trinex.
Yeah, that is
Razor
really
Bridge.
good.
Rip Laser Bridge.
Yeah, I think they just need a key in this chest right here, and then it is a God T is effectively a God TR.
I think you're right. I think it's like 1 more key and then they're set.
Yeah, because it's 3 keys if you don't want to go check the vanilla big key chest. And in not exactly a God TR, but Silver's right in front of, falling practically right on Koi's lap here.
I mean, I would definitely be happy to see those, but I mean, with a gold sword, you don't really need them at this point. Spin strats are pretty easy.
They are, for the most part, a convenience by now. Absolutely, but even still, Silverless Ganon does still take longer than Silvered Ganon, and as a speedrunner, you want to go fast. To answer your question, chat, Eastern was required because the green pendant contained the Ether Medallion, which is the key into Turtle Rock's front door. So it looks like Koi just stole the key from back there and is just going to use that to yeet straight to Trinex.
I mean, to be fair, you don't need anything in there, so why not just take the key and run?
Absolutely.
What was this seed? What was it? I still don't understand what it was.
I mean, there's a couple of words I could describe it for, but I would not be allowed to commentate again if I uttered them out loud, so I'm not going to.
Oh, I definitely agree with you.
But I'm sure our runners are saying it probably in an out loud fashion that will not be picked up by folks here on the restream.
Oh, most definitely. Though, this room right here is definitely one of the easiest dark rooms to go through. I'd say the second easiest, because all you have to do is hold the buttons for however long. It's more or less, you would know exactly what to do. Oh, and looks like Koi is going to go ahead and just check the laser bridge for the holes. Okay.
Koi's actually short a key, it looks like. Oh, because I guess he's thinking there's got to be a key on Laser Bridge then.
No. Big key was earlier. I guess he needed a small key.
Yeah, he still
because
needed
Big
one
Key
more
was in
small
the
key.
right room with all.
Whoops. Sorry, we lost you for a split second there. You said key in the crystal roller room? But yeah, Chloe hasn't gone to Pyramid Fairy yet, so that's a bit away from his fire rod.
Thankfully, with Gold Sword, it's not too bad to go ahead and do Trinex with Gold Sword. Because, what, 2 slashes and he's done?
I think
3
it's
slashes.
three per head, followed by 2 spins in the center.
Oh, yeah. The mighty sword of cholesterol strikes again.
And that is down Trinex for Koi. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to play a very special guessing game. 5D, why don't you go ahead and explain the story behind the Ganon's Tower Big Key? Ooh, Ganon burn on Trinex. Interesting.
So this key can be anywhere. Was it 23? I think it was 23.
22. 21 chests and 1 torch.
checks. So there are 22 checks in Ganon's Tower. The big key can be on any. I personally believe it'll be number 13, top right chest of Rando Room.
Ooh, oddly specific.
You see, that is the chest that they will check if they do Dark Magician Strat, which is they check the 2 chests on the right side and then go full clear on the left. I have been correct several times before. I think I have a 20% success rate with that.
Ooh,
Either
certainly
way.
a good one. Although I think Dark Magician is actually when you go left, go to Stalfos Rune, and then go full right.
It's
think
doing the 2 checks. It's
I
doing
think
the
you're
2
thinking
checks on the right.
Hope strat. I think you're thinking the Hope route.
Oh,
Which,
it is chest number 1 with 50 rupees on the side.
Well then, we had a couple of guesses for that. The first number 1 being Simo Rocks, and the second guess, right as the cutoff point happened, was Penalty Permit. So both of you got number 1. Congratulations. You are number 1 in our eyes tonight, and you have won a lifetime supply of Link to the Past randomizer seeds. Disclaimer, these are available for just about everybody.
Unfortunately, Bob would have been invisible, but unfortunately, we won't be seeing Bob tonight. Make it rest.
Yep. And the vanilla big key chest in TR had the shovel.
Not sure why Leslie Pro is actually going and doing all that, because, I mean, we both know that you can just skip all that.
Probably
But
didn't
they-
think to steal the key.
That is fair. I mean, I probably wouldn't think that of it.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the Legend of Thief like in Link's Awakening, so...
That is true.
But yeah, Koi is zipping up the tower here in no time flat. I would say that at this point, amongst our runners on Restream, this is his race to lose. To answer question, chat, the silvers were in Turtle Rock in the Chain Chomp room. They practically fell on the runner's lap.
Oh, definitely. Like, if you missed that chest, I feel bad for you. Because it's right there. You're still needing a couple keys, so I mean, you're definitely gonna check it. If you don't check it, I don't know what to say to you.
This actually was one of those cases where if you did follow the linear route that the seed provided, everything did pretty much just fall on your lap. You're guaranteed half magic offline Molus. You would be foolish to miss those silvers, and not to mention 3 swords before we even got proper Dark World access.
Well, technically, it's 2 swords because the one was on the pyramid. So I mean, kinda.
Fair enough. The shovel was in the vanilla big key chest, not the big chest itself. But there's Burn on Trinex for NY Rambler.
Meanwhile, Koi is continuing to traverse up Ganon's tower.
I didn't even notice. Red Mail also fell on the runner's laps too because Red Mail was in Laser Bridge.
Oh, that is true.
Also, Chloe playing the Daredevil's Delight here, going to deliver this big red bomb with only 1 heart left. Thanks for the scare. Halloween's still not for another 2 months.
Nonsense. It's always Halloween in our hearts.
I don't think NY Rambler checked the shovel, or checked the big key chest, so I don't think he has shovel. But Chloe has now just entered go mode at 45-10.
Oh, and Koi is gonna go ahead and pick up the heart. That's just after the second big boy.
Yeah, nice, fairly nice Moldorm too from Koi, and this is gonna be a fairly swift and seemingly decisive end for this race to wind down.
Excited for this race. This was fantastic.
Looks like Koi started off with a double followed by a single, because, Aghanim's not cooperating with the blue balls right now. Let's see if he gets a nice pattern for these last two, and he does, so it's going to be 2-1-1-2.
I think that was a 3-hit, actually. Because one ball hit him, and then the second ball hit him soon after, so that was a 3. So it was 1-1-1-3.
So Aghan only needs 6 hits.
Right. 1-1-1, and then 3. That's
Well, the
6.
first was a double.
Oh, I guess I miscounted.
But Leslie's now going into GT while Chloe's going into Turtle Rock to get that last crystal. NY Rambler's zipping up the tower. And Ganon effectively sealing his fate by delivering the bacon line. So Ganon's talking about facts about bacon. Well, here's another fact, Ganon. You are about to become bacon.
Sweet.
And yeah, Koi already on phase 3 here of Ganon.
Meanwhile, Ganon is just not cooperating right now.
Yeah, and decided to put on his own magic cape and start teleporting around the place.
I mean, to be fair, the cape is red, so...
Indeed it is. Oh!
Adds that little triangle, too. So,
I think Koi just overextended a little bit and got tossed past Ganon and chucked down the pit.
So, this is the first time I've seen that pit in a long while.
Yeah, although given Koi's current circumstances, only a fairly minor setback, as getting back to that point in the fight's only going to take about a minute.
Either way,
That was pretty comical, though. Although, to be fair, the sprite flickering kinda didn't let me see the whole thing of it, so... That'd be better to one to watch in playback later.
Meanwhile, Rambler is making their way up Ganon's tower quite quickly. And, let's see. Looks like the only person who hasn't made it up Ganon's tower just yet is Chloe, but they'll be there here soon.
Yeah, Chloe was a tad bit late getting to Fire Rod, but folks, get your GGs in chat for Koi. Barring a disaster on this 1x3 bridge, Koi is going to finish this race first place amongst our restream here. And, yep, crosses that bridge with an official race time GG time of 1:49.31. That is going to be good for first place on the restream and first place overall.
So, GG's to Koi. Either way, that was still a fantastic time with this horrible seed.
Yeah, absolutely. This could very easily have been like a over 2-hour seed, but yeah, Koi definitely demonstrated some superior execution there, especially on that GT.
Oh, most definitely.
We will
Meanwhile,
see.
Chloe opting to use the cape while they go ahead and cross later in the bridge. not a bad choice, honestly, if you don't really know how to do laser bridge skip. Or if you just don't want to deal with it and you just want to kill fast.
Yeah, I think Chloe's about as tired as anyone else would be about with a seat of this caliber. Hopefully, Koi will be joining us down here in the booth momentarily. And actually, as I lost my train of thought. Never mind. Alright. But down goes Aga 2 for NY Rambler, and it is time for NY Rambler to face the Big Pig. And, yes, Leslie did check, Leslie did get the shovel. In fact, I think he's the only one for the to get the shovel. And we are joined up here in the booth by Koi. Koi, GG to you in a fantastic performance.
I felt a Ganon.
Well, even then, your GT climb was astounding, and given how much of a clunker this seed was, your routing was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, it didn't really give you a lot of opportunities to mess up, I think. Like, everything was very bottlenecky. Like, the worst place to go always seemed to be the place to be. So unless you were, like, severely crazy, you always full clear everything.
Pretty much, and the chain was pretty rough too, because it was sphere 0 checks, which led to like bombos, hookshot, flippers, and then I mean that Zora. Do we have to say any more? Zora, when there's no money available.
When I got flippers and hookshot in Mini Moldorm Cave, I was like, oh, it's an Agassi. This is obviously an Agassi. This is the most Agassi I've ever seen. So I figured, just go kill Aga. And if it's Moonpearl on the Pyramid, hey, that's awesome, right? And if not, then it's no big deal. I don't really lose that much time from it. But to have to last location Moonpearl, even though I knew it was an Agassi the entire time, was very frustrating.
Oh, everyone had to do that. Like, there was no way to do Houlihan, because the scene really wanted you to start off with Houlihan. It really did, before you did anything else. Because, I mean, otherwise you had to grind for those extra rupees. And
even the Triforce is saying was having fun. It's like, ha, got him.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate because while everybody had to last location of the Moonpearl because of the rupee situation, most people weren't going to do Aga before that. So even though I knew it was an Aga seed, I still didn't gain anything from it. I guess I had a sword for a little bit longer. I don't know.
Well, we also just want to quickly say that NY Rambler has just taken down the Big Pig and crossed the finish line. NY Rambler has an official race time GG time of 1:53.02. Which will be good for second on the restream, but fourth overall. It was overtaken by Orange with a time of 1:52.20, and 2 seconds later, Demo with a time of 1:52.22. NY Rambler is joining us up here in the booth. GG to you.
GG's everybody. GG's Koi.
GG.
So what all do you wish you did better? And
what do I wish I did better? I wish I Houlihan. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, believe me, that's gonna be the sentiment with everybody this seed.
Houlihan. I wish I didn't decide to forego South Dark World and check Death Mountain after I got the gloves out of Thieves Town. I was thinking about just keep going south, do the Arrow game to get money for the game. That was on my mind, but I decided, let's go up to the mountain and get money probably up there, maybe the hammer will be up there, and of course the mirror is at the game. If I'd done that, probably would have saved up 3-4 minutes. I might have won this race. That was my biggest mistake. Everything else I did past basically getting the mitts was pretty much spot on. Even my decision to do Swamp before Pyramid Fairy I thought was correct.
And we are now joined in the booth by Leslie Pro, who has finished, is the next to take down the Big Pig and finishes in third on Restream, fifth overall with an official race time GG time of 1:54.45. Leslie, GG to you, and we can understand your frustration with this seed.
I think anybody would be frustrated with this seed. Are you kidding me? This seed was awful. I don't know if Hungry Hippo Man was watching this or not, but I'm sending it to him because I think he has an affinity for bad seeds. And let's just say this one was, ooh, that smell.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just going over the logic chain with Koi, because it was your Sphere 1 checks, which had Bombos, Flippers, Hookshot, and...
Not even. It was first Houlihan, then
Right.
your Sphere 1 checks, and then everything else.
Yeah, because it was then Aga 1 anyways, because Dark World, all the Dark World stuff besides Moon Pearl was in the Dark World. Both the gloves and the hammer were in the Dark World. But after Moon Pearl and Dark World, it was gloves in Thieves Town, mitts.
No. First, it was dipping into Palace of Darkness to get gloves, then going over to Thieves Town to get mitts.
You did pod
and
before
then
Thieves?
I think that would be better because
you
dip
can't
into
though,
pod.
because you don't have
Yeah.
rupees. Because you last location Moon Pearl, you have like 5 rupees when you go to the Dark World.
Yeah.
Unless you spend an extra time dipping into.
Yeah, but that's crazy because you have Flippers and Hookshot.
Yeah, because I had Hookshot, that's why I decided not to.
I mean,
Someone did that. Someone
yeah,
did that.
I mean,
can't remember who. Someone
if
did
I
that.
didn't have a way across the river, yeah, I would have stayed and farmed rupees a little bit longer so I can get to a pod, because pod's like way more likely than just catfish or something, right? But because you have Flippers and Hookshot, like that's a little. It's really low percent to farm the rupees. That's very unlikely to turn into a time gain.
Yeah, but so you get your mitts, you get your flute from the smith, then you go to Meyer to go kill Viddy to get your hammer, and then it's hammered to
Ice Palace.
hammered
and
Ice
then
Palace for
Palace.
And then Bow leads to Pod, which is your Pyramid Fairy Crystal for Fire Rod, and
Yeah.
Eastern, which is your green pendant for Fire Rod.
No, Ethan.
No.
I'm sorry, did I say Fire Rod?
Ether.
I said
Well, that
Ether. Ether, that's right.
And when I saw that, I kind of popped off. And when I first chest hole room got the big key, let's just say there's no webcam on me, but I pretty much did a pog champ IRL.
Yeah, I was very happy with my decision to do Eastern right after Pod after I got that Ether. I thought the book might have led to something also, so I
Yeah.
did check bombs with Moon Swamp, alas.
Actually,
No,
it's
it was just
funny.
Fire Rod.
It's funny, Leslie, you mentioned the Hope route because I think the only one who didn't do that is Chloe, and Chloe's now just about to start facing the Big Pig. How did you folks feel about half magic and silvers practically falling on your lap? Not to mention the swords and the mail upgrades.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've had a seed where I've had everything: Butter Sword, half magic, silver arrows, and cape. That's the big 4 for like safety on Ganon. If you have, I'm usually comfortable with any 2 of the 4, but having everything was just like made the fight pretty free.
It closes the gap between like more practice execution and less
Yeah.
practice execution. So like the more practice your execution, like the better you are at the game, the less you want to see those items, because you don't want that gap to be closer.
Yeah, in a random field like this, in like SG Daily, I would probably prefer to have the harder thing because I've been practicing the harder ones. Whereas if I'm in a 1v1 situation against someone who's better than me, I'd rather have a situation like this. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Sure.
it
Yeah,
does.
no, it does. I mean, you definitely want a crutch against people who are better than you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why do you think I picked Fast Ganon in the tournament last year?
story of me and Mario Kart.
Well, I really appreciate the restream, you guys. I gotta go back to playing
Well-
way better seeds than this one.
Oh yeah. Good luck with your stream, boy.
Jeez.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
GG's on your first place.
yeah,
And have a
GG.
wonderful night.
Bye, everybody.
GG. Yeah, folks, definitely if you're just coming in on the later side, definitely watch this one back because boy, is
My
this quite going to
collection-
be a
My collection rate was only 148 in a seed that took me an hour 53. That is insane.
That's really good, to be
My
fair.
my ladder race the other day had a 153 and my time was 140. That shows how bad this was.
Indeed.
Yeah.
With
And,
with the rupee farming and running around the overworld without boots.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as I got that mirror, my priority was getting boots after Hype Cave, and then is basically step on the gas.
Hive cave?
Pretty much.
What is that? All I know.
Good answer.
Sorry, you cut out when you said Hype Cave. What is that?
Hype cave? What is that? All I know is the cave formerly known as Hype.
Well, we are joined in the booth here now by Chloe Prower, who finishes fourth amongst the restream, and it's going to be 9th overall with an official race time GG time, almost said SRL, sorry, habit, of 2 hours and 12 seconds. Chloe, GG to you.
Hey yo, GG's. That was a thing.
It was a thing. That seed.
Sum it up
Not
as
nice.
frustrating, to be honest. Nothing about that seed felt good.
I don't think
No.
anything about that seed was supposed to feel good. It was definitely one of the more linear seeds I've seen in a long time. Not to mention, I mean, Zora. I mean, need I say
I'm-
anything else?
Really curious what other people did.
Enjoyed the seed from the time that I got.
Pearl.
Yeah, from the time I got the mitts until the time I was doing Left Side Swamp, I loved that seed. But everything before and after that, terrible.
So what else did everyone do for money that seed? Because that was the dumpster fire right
Just
there.
about everybody did Blind's Hut. I think Koi delayed turning in his good bee, so Koi got a little extra jump start of cash from the good bee.
Yeah.
I turned the good bee in right away,
And
like the first chance I had. Fortunately,
Right.
Fairy Fountain was giving me bad bees. Otherwise, I probably would have, farmed there.
Yeah, I double checked that too. I couldn't remember where tree pulls were after killing Aga.
Yeah, I know. We noticed you were checking like the uncle area, going back to the uncle area,
Yeah,
checking that.
That was a waste of time. I forgot that tree pulls got shuffled after you killed Aga.
I don't even know what they got shuffled to be honest.
Yeah, I
so
didn't bother.
I tried pulling a few, and then I'm like, whatever. Just go back to Pod when you have money. And well, to be fair, I sort of beat up Moldorm for it.
Koi also beat up Moldorm as well. Actually,
I
just
beat
about
up
all of
Moldorm.
you beat up Moldorm, actually.
Yeah, I went straight to Hera after I got the mirror, I think.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of you ended up dipping the mountain with Titan's Mitts the first time. I know Koi and Chloe both double dipped it. At least
Yeah,
double
That's not
dipped it.
I went up the
times.
mountain the moment I had access to getting gloves and pod, and got my fourth sword, but nothing else for that. I was really hoping that I could pull the fire rod from literally anywhere else than what it was, to be honest.
Yeah, we were dreaming up like pedestal scenarios, and from the Thieves Town dive, it was looking really good because it was only a couple of items left for the pendants. But then it started getting to the point where it's like, all right, well, Ether's on green pendant, so Ped's dead. So
Yeah,
I'm
that
up to the
was
pedestal.
kind of a jerk.
yeah, although
I mean, it did feel good, but it also like railroaded you into going, okay, Myers really your only option because you're not going to dive Swamp or Ice Palace without the hammer.
pretty much.
No,
Although I'm
here's your
pretty
hammer.
sure somebody would have Vice Palace without the hammer in this seed, given the circumstances.
I mean,
Wouldn't
maybe,
surprise
but
me.
the bow was hard hammer locked.
It
so
was, yeah, it was in the
Yeah.
ICH room.
Even if you ice broke, you still couldn't have gotten that bow.
Yeah, I was
Um,
mentioning that
and then
it
bow
could
lock
be that,
bow.
but considering that you needed a hammer, it would have been a terrible play. In hindsight.
Yeah, well, the fact that when I got the flute and like doing purple chest right after it both made sense and was the right call because you got Samaria to do Meyer anyway.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about Samaria on the purple chest. Yeah, at least that was right after Flute.
Yeah, so it was like when I got the flute, I was like, oh, this is gonna stink. I'm gonna have to dip Meyer without Samaria. I turned purple chest and never mind. I can just do everything over there now in one shot.
Yeah, the seed was practically screaming Meyer at that point.
Yeah, we got mirrors, flute, and Samaria. Like if you did that whole section, I got mirror, flute, and Samaria in like 2 minutes of each other. So
I had mirror a little earlier and wasted time doing mirror checks. That being Hera.
Yeah, actually, it's actually funny. I want to go back to Zora for a second, because right after you entered the Dark World, there were plenty of rupees suddenly to go around. It's like the seed is just rubbing it in, sort of.
well, I mean, yeah, they weren't in the light world,
Yeah.
so
And not to mention, in the credits, it was discovered that it looks like the shovel, which was in the Turtle Rock Vanilla Big Key chest, had more money.
oh, what a surprise! I
Pedestal
mean,
also had couch cash.
there
That
wasn't
doesn't surprise me.
anything.
All the money where we couldn't get it. That sounds like typical V31.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know what? I'll chalk it up to an okay. It's something new. Like, the fact that it hard required a really poor Zora and was a jerk enough to lock you out of doing stuff like Houlihan or the Desert Path money chest and everything. I'm gonna give that a couple points. It's one of those weird things that definitely never comes up and you can't prepare for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is gonna be an interesting one to watch back later for sure. If you decide to watch this one back.
I'm about to do that right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
definitely
got
watch
work
at least.
in the morning, so that won't happen for me at least. But I will say this: I'd only seen one other seed for spore farming like that, and that was back in the V18 tournament. And I knew it was an oddity situation because that doesn't typically happen. Here we are a few years later, and guess what? It happened again. Also, this was definitely a rough seed because I had a 139 collection rate. The time definitely doesn't match up to the collection rate for this seed, in my view. But that's just me.
Well, with that, folks, is there anything else anybody wants to say before we close things out tonight?
Thanks for having me. It was lots of fun, sort of. It was
Yeah.
interesting. It was interesting. I wouldn't say fun. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting, but it felt great to be able to do this again on the nightly stage, on the daily/nightly stage, which I'll admit, work hours this year have been higher than other years, so I haven't been able to do these as much as I used to. So to be able to come back and put on a show for you guys on a rare occasion where I'm able to do so is a real treat for me. And tonight, what I'm taking out of this one is honestly, other than just inadvertently having that brain fart where I accidentally used the key instead of stealing it in TR, I felt my execution was really on point, and if I can keep that up, who knows what could happen.
Yeah,
I definitely will say that. You guys had excellent execution, all four of you, and you had an excellent time getting through that difficult. Because I guarantee you, maybe 3 hours trying to struggle through like all the different areas in that seed, you know. So definitely GG still.
Much appreciated, and thanks again for the commentary as well as the feature on Restream. Hopefully, I'll see you all again somewhere down the road where I'll be able to do this again.
That's good to me.
Indeed. Well, with that, folks, we will be wrapping up this episode of the Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race. We should be back with more Link to the Past Randomizer Wednesday night at 11. So we've got a bit of a late night seed on tap for you, and that will be a mystery seed. Ooh, those are actually one of my personal favorites, but that is on queue for Wednesday night. If you are looking for more speed gaming action, I think at this point we're pretty much done, unless Dragon Warrior Randomizer is just wrapping up still. But we will be back on the air again with new Super Mario Bros. Wii at 8 a.m. And Portal 2 at 9. This is Eastern Time. And with that, once again, we invite you to follow the 4 runners who have appeared on Restream today, NY Rambler, Chloe Prower, Leslie Pro 04, and Koi Stream. The links in the Twitch chat. They have put on a fantastic show for you this evening. And we also want to shout out our trackers, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna and Mad Ewok Herd. Again, put quite to work after Dark World Access, pressing all the buttons, letting everybody know who has what. And 5D, it was 5D100. It was a pleasure joining you up here in the commentators booth this evening.
Oh, definitely. It was definitely a fun race. Well, I do want to thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.
Good night, folks.